So I wanted to start with Proverbs 3. This is going to be our opening meditation, okay? Happy are those who find wisdom and those who get understanding. For her income is better than silver, and her revenue better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. To those who hold fast are called happy. It's Proverbs 3:13 through 18.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Here's something else I found interesting. There was a note in the study guide for our book that said, throughout the Proverbs, wisdom, chokmah in Hebrew and Sophia in Greek, is personified as a woman. She cries out in the streets, that's Proverbs 1:20, and says, hear, for I will speak noble things, Proverbs 8:6. In Proverbs 8:22, wisdom tells the reader that she was created at the first, before the beginning of the earth, in verse 23. And she was present with the Lord at creation. I was beside him like a master worker, and I was daily his delight, in verse 30. So they ask, how does this biblical characterization help you think about what it means to have wisdom? Did that resonate with anybody?
Wow. Hmm. I know that wisdom is different from knowledge.
Yeah.
I think wisdom is taking knowledge and experience and sort of internalizing it by reflecting on it and asking, how can this give me a deeper understanding of life and how to proceed with my life? So there's an element of self-reflection in wisdom that I think is really important and really needed.
Well, and I would say personified as a woman gives wisdom an aspect of feminine, which is more of compassion and empathy than it is strength and courage. You know, that perhaps as we age and our knowledge becomes wisdom, we become softer in our approach to life.
Boy, that's great.
And maybe by personifying wisdom as female, she's more attracted to the guys who prize courage and strength, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. You know, you might get tired of me talking about this, but I come from a very masculine world, both as a former athlete and as a former evangelical. I come from a very masculine world that celebrates, the things that we've been talking about, and even what Glenna said about it's different than knowledge. And knowledge, ever since the time of the Greeks, has been very masculine, even up through the Enlightenment and up till about 100 years ago, And so I'm very aware of wisdom, but also just as a personal experience. So I'm going to do the Wesleyan quad here. Scripture, the tradition, and reason have all been very masculine. But for experience, being the fourth part of the quadrilateral, my experience has been I have many very wise women in my life, and I've been blessed with that. So, I have two really great sisters. My wife is a woman of wisdom, and she has two sisters who are also have taught me so much. My mother-in-law is a woman of wisdom. And now I'm in a church environment where my fellow pastors, 54% of them are women in ministry, and they're incredible, and I learned so much from them. My PhD program was at United Methodist School, and my fellow learners there, they taught me so much. I learned so much from them. And now being in a church with empowered women has been incredible. And, I'm not trying to butter you all up, but for our conversations together, I mean, you guys have become my favorite conversation partners. And even this morning, the wisdom that has been shared in this room, I'm so grateful for that. And so I think maybe personifying wisdom as feminine is, like you said, attracted to me because it really brings wholeness and sort of well-roundedness to the knowledge that I have, or just the technical skill. And so that's why I think the communal wisdom of discernment and decision making as a community is so valuable, so that it's not solely on the shoulders of one male leader. We really need that. A lot of organizations, yeah, but we celebrate those male leaders who are at the top of the organization chart. Whether it's a CEO or a president of the United States, or it really doesn't matter what the arena is, Yeah. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How's it going?
Better now that you're on screen.
Aw, thanks. Shucks.
Gail, I owe you an apology. You left me a very nice voicemail on Thursday, and I meant to get back to you on Friday, and I didn't, so I apologize.
Okay.
All right, thank you for understanding.
Sure.
Want to do an exercise. So I want to show you actually a video I think you might find interesting. So here's the introductory video to, all right, hold on. I apologize. Wait, I'm going to stop my share. I want to show you a video that they provided us that gives sort of a framework for this study that we're going to do. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. It's 4 minutes.
Welcome. My name is Denise Haskins, and it is my privilege to introduce this study on finding peace in an anxious world. As Christians, we know Jesus Christ is alive, and the Holy Spirit is at work in the world today. The study we are about to begin lends credence to the truth that God cares for all our needs, which we can see even in the way this study came to be. The summer of 2015 was marked with events of traumatizing violence, and the pastoral staff of Urban Village Church in Chicago developed this material as a 4-part sermon series to help their community cope with the anxiety reinforced by the 24-hour news cycle. United Methodist Women then commissioned these same leaders to develop it into the study you have before you as the spiritual formation topic of Mission U 2020. National trainers such as myself, recruited in the fall of 2018, met together earlier this year to determine how best to present the material at regional trainings. At that time, none of us anticipated how vital this study and the strategies it offers for coping with anxiety would become in the midst of a global pandemic. And so we have become witnesses once more of God's providence, offering us this wonderful resource for such a time as this. The authors chose Reinhold Niebuhr's Serenity Prayer, written in 1943 at the height of the Second World War, to be a framework or scaffold for this study. It has become a familiar and time-tested part of life for those who face anxiety. This prayer, coupled with the wisdom found in the biblical book of Proverbs, will help us explore scriptural and spiritual resources for finding peace in the midst of troubled times, relying on God and becoming empowered to live full lives as disciples of Jesus Christ. In session 1, we focus on the first phrase of the prayer, God, grant me the serenity. Anxiety is not a new phenomenon, and in fact was the most commonly diagnosed mental health ailment in the world, even before global pandemic. We can even find examples of those who have experienced anxiety throughout the biblical narrative. Identifying and defining anxiety then offers us a starting point from which to discover ways in which we can hope to achieve serenity. Our study takes us on an exploration of Proverbs. so that we may develop wisdom, which the author explains creates a lifelong process that leads to greater peace of mind and peace of heart. Increasing wisdom increases our capacity for serenity. Prayer is also an important part of achieving peace, and so we are encouraged to try different prayer practices, such as the Examine, which gives us opportunity to reflect on the content of our daily lives and to become present in the moment and what it has to offer us. Now, I do want to offer a warning. Some of us have a bad habit of using reflections like this to beat ourselves up with the woulda, coulda, shoulda dones in life. However, the Examine instead asks us to become aware of God's presence in our day-to-day lives and to demonstrate gratitude for God's peace in the midst of the chaos that may surround us. May you be enriched with the peace of Christ through the first session of Finding Peace in an Anxious World.
Thoughts?
Sounds really good.
Oh, good.
I'm excited about this.
Oh, good. It is very different than what we normally do at 9:30, but I think it's perfect for the moment.
So, Paul, I could only find this on Kindle.
Okay.
I can figure out a way to get a paper copy. Do you have any suggestions?
Donna, how would we best find a paper copy?
Well, I ordered mine through UMW, but an awful lot of people are doing this as a study, even though Mission U hasn't happened. And someone said that they were behind on getting the book out, so whether they still have them or not.
Okay.
And I did when I ordered mine. I got 3 of them at the time, but and I didn't. I still have one.
Okay.
But yeah.
So
Was that recently? Was that recently?
When I got the book,
Yeah.
it's been 6 weeks, 8 weeks,
oh, so
Yeah.
okay.
something. Yeah.
So because United Methodist Women, this is the national study right now, there's probably a lot of demand for it. So,
Well,
do you
could
not?
share that thing that they sent out, because I sent it to you. It has all the things that can look at. Would that help?
No, she's
You're
looking.
going to show some of them.
Oh, okay. Because she's looking for a paper copy.
Well, I know. Yeah.
Minda, do you not like reading on the Kindle?
I like to write in
Ah,
my books. I
Gotcha.
underline a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yes,
high.
I take it in.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Go back and read what I've underlined in it.
You're interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
You can underline with the Kindle though. At least with my version of the Kindle, I can do an underline.
I just don't want to look at its screens any more than I absolutely
I got it.
That I get.
Yeah. So just out of curiosity, I know Linda Miller gave me one of Donna's copies, and Donna has a paper copy. Does anyone else have a paper copy, or are we all on Kindle, or
I don't have a copy.
no copy? Okay.
Well, Linda's does, but she's at the mountain.
Yeah, she's at the cabin. Okay.
I'm Kindle.
Cabin, so.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to do an opening exercise in real time, and I want to make a list of the sources of anxiety. So I'm going to try and type these out as we go, but this is something that we can return to. If we were in the same room this morning, I would put big sticky notes up on the wall and have you go and write them down so that we could visually see them and have them pictured on the wall. But today, this will have to suffice. So let's just name some sources of anxiety.
Am I going to get COVID?
Having a 96-year-old mother who brings up the subject that she may not see us again.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's more than just her age, but
Yeah.
the thought that she might not see it.
Okay.
And I think family health, not just COVID. There's some health concerns in my family. My mom passed in May and all that. So
Yeah, family health.
Shopping.
How so?
Well, just going out, having the mask up, and keep socially distanced.
Yeah. Yeah, going out at all, right?
Yeah.
The
Climate
constant
crisis.
change.
Constant change?
Always changing.
Have you guys heard of this thing called decision fatigue?
No, but I instantly understand it.
Yeah.
My dad texted the family ring the other day and needed some wisdom on something. He got an invitation. It's something he does every year, but he was thinking about not doing it this year. And I just couldn't even muster up the mental energy to give him a good response. Any type of wisdom. I'm just tired of making decisions all day.
The downtown protests, they came up the hill at 3:00 in the morning the other night and were ranting and raving and spray painting my neighbor's fence.
No. So I put the protest.
Wow.
Gail, what neighborhood do you live in?
I live on just above Ainsworth School on Vista Avenue. Thank God I'm on the high side of Vista, so it's harder to get to my house than it is to get to Janie's. And they were ranting and raving. I got out of bed and went outside. It was a warm night. My daughter is living with me. She was out already. She said, "Mom, there were 7 or 8 guys, and they were just swearing and yelling."
Whoa.
They'd already gone by, but she said, and they spray painted at Joni's or Janie's.
So,
Well, but there's also racism. I mean, there's vandalism and bad influences, but the Black Lives Matter, the racism seems to have been covered up by the violence.
Yeah.
No. You can always
Yes.
you can always leave it to white people to commandeer nearly anything and make it somehow about them.
Yeah, exactly.
now, the pending election is anxiety.
The
producing.
election?
Yeah.
That is a big one, isn't it?
Yes.
I would say the power of police unions and also climate crisis, which is what's producing drought, fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. We don't necessarily connect the dots, but they're connected.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. How?
Childcare for a lot of people.
What's that, Katie?
Childcare.
I was just gonna say that same thing. Child care.
School. Yeah.
Yeah, unemployment.
Unemployment. All right.
Economic instability.
All right, we're coming up with quite a list.
Well, and I think people always want certainty.
Yeah.
So concerns about what is the new normal, how are we going to live, will businesses survive, that whole process.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to extend our boxes here.
Lack of physical contact with other people.
Isolation, yeah.
Lack of hugs.
Our friend Sharon online says insomnia.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Causing me stress, I'll tell you that. Oh boy. Well, we filled up 2 boxes of bullet points. So here's our list again. COVID, aging parent, family health, shopping, constant change, protests, racism, lack of physical contact, election, police, climate and weather, child care, unemployment, economy, instability, the new normal, and insomnia. That's a lot.
Making me anxious.
Hold on, I'm going to add making this list.
Though I think the 24-hour news cycle
Yeah.
is
It's nonstop, right?
not nonstop, it makes it all the more stressful.
And we can keep going on and on. Social media is another anxiety producer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sharon also says that work, because we had unemployment, she also says working.
Working, yeah.
You know, so I'm going to add media and social media. And then isolation. So I'm going to add that to physical contact.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's make another list. What are sources of peace during this time?
Nature.
Cats.
Cats.
I'm going with pets.
There you go.
But can I just say that is partly true, but because I help take care of my sister's 2 black labs, also having pets causes anxiety.
Yes, it's true.
But I get it. Wait, it was pets. Somebody else said something else. Nature, thank you. Yeah, I've really grown in a new way to just appreciate the beauty of creation during this. Routine? Oh, can I also say, I'll go back after this and add to the list of anxiety, is that summer's coming to an end, and I know the rainy season is coming.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. You didn't have to bring that up,
For sources of peace, I'll add gardening.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my goodness, I forgot to post a picture yesterday. We spent some time at our community plot here, Lorraine. She's a fellow gardener with me.
Yeah.
And we brought home 2 vases of different kinds of flowers and a giant basket of tomatoes out of our tiny little plot.
Yeah, your flowers are really pretty.
Man, that was an experiment. We just bought a little packet of wild flowers. No, I think that's what they're called. You don't have to tend them at all. You just scatter them, and because they sort of take care of themselves. But I think they have enjoyed the rich soil and the constant water more than we anticipated.
I'd like to add kindness to that list.
Kindness.
The other day am I on?
Yeah.
I got a call from Joy, our musician.
Yeah.
She said, "Are you home? I've got some flowers for you."
Yeah.
And my daughter and I were down at Fred's, but we were home within 10 minutes. And Joy came over with this beautiful bouquet that were growing in her yard, she said, of dahlias. I don't have any dahlias, but my mother used to grow dahlias. They are just gorgeous. And I had baked oatmeal cookies, and I had made apple butter, and I sent her home with some of that. So kindnesses to one another. I made tea. We sat at the kitchen table and chatted. It was just beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Lovely.
See, that gives me anxiety, though, just sitting across the table from somebody.
Yeah.
Gratitude is the other thing.
Thank you.
Gratitude?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at our list and thinking, I don't know how lucky I am.
Right. I would say prayer is a source of peace for me.
Great.
Great.
Yeah, one of our Facebook friends said ice cream. You got to enjoy the little things right now.
Oh, yeah.
A warm bath with some bath salts.
Yes.
Reading.
What was that?
Reading.
Reading.
Oh, yeah.
Music.
Hold on. You know what? I'm going to change the layout to give us 2 bullet lists so we can keep going. Music.
Love and friendship.
Yeah. Oh.
Completing projects.
Yes, thank you. Isn't that so satisfying right now?
Oh yeah, more so than has been in a very, very long time.
Totally
To
agree.
cross things off the list is
I totally
feels
agree.
really good.
I had some trim in my house that wasn't quite right after the reno last year. I fixed the trim in my house. I love it so much. It's such a stupid little thing, but it makes me so happy that I don't have gaps. And oh my gosh, yes.
I'd say source of peace is perspective.
Yeah.
Recalling that we've been through horrible times before and survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say physical activity.
Yes. I started a new exercise routine 2.5 weeks ago. I cannot believe the difference it's making.
Yay.
Oh my gosh. I feel like maybe 40% different.
Wow.
It has made a big difference. I think as a former athlete in the fall, because I used to get ready for football, there's something my body's like, yeah, we're going to do this, right?
I think sleep
Yes.
is a good one.
Agree.
And you can get it.
Yes.
If you can get it,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Meditation.
Meditation? Does that ever cause you anxiety if you're not very good at it?
Yes.
Anything on this?
You have to learn not to be perfect.
Yes. Forgiveness came in from Dory on the other stream. That's true, Dory. What did somebody add to forgiveness? Wait, what was the last thing you said, Susan? Oh, shoot. I thought I heard you say something.
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's a good list. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this in front of us as we go forward for the next 6 weeks in this conversation. But what I want to do today to end is I want to end with praying the Serenity Prayer. Now, the part above the red line is the famous part that everyone is familiar with, but there are actually versions of this prayer, including the original, which is much longer. And so today we're going to pray this version of it as a closing prayer, okay? Will you join me in the spirit of prayer? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking, as he did, this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever and ever in the next. Amen.